Okay, this is the second lecture, lecture two, and it's going to deal with mainly an example that hopefully will help us understand the three methods of, or four methods of settling belief. Okay, let's pretend like we know a student in critical thinking, and her name is Thuy, and she's enrolled in the class, but she really would like to drop the class. Okay, but she's enrolled in the class, so she takes a quiz. Her, her first quiz she gets 100 on, which she kind of expected. She's a good student. Then the next quiz that she took, she only got a 50. Okay, so this is what we might call a surprise. When she got the 100, it kind of reinforced her belief, and now as she failed the next quiz, she got a 50, and so that questions her belief, or causes her to question the belief. She's going into a state of doubt. Okay, so there's lots of things she could do at this point, but she wants to drop the class. Okay, and she doesn't really like it. So she got a poor grade on the second quiz and decides to go ahead and drop the quiz. So this is what she wanted to do in the first place, and so we'll call that decision tenacity. She's tenaciously holding on to the belief that she doesn't want to be in the class, she wants to drop it, and their second quiz just justifies that. Okay, so that's an example of tenacity. However, sometimes, as we mentioned earlier, tenacity runs into difficulties. The tenacious believer can and will encounter an equally tenacious individual with opposite beliefs. For example, in this case, Thuy's father tells her that she cannot drop the class and she must finish it. Why? Because he says so. So he is an authority who's telling her what to do. Okay, so she decides to go ahead and stay in the class, not because she wants to, but because her father is the authority and she accepts his authority and she acts on that authority. So she's now progressed to, as I mentioned, authority as the second kind of settlement of belief. Okay, the next one is confirmation bias, and she fails the second quiz, and like I said before, her decision is she's inclined to want to drop the class, and so she's looking for evidence that would support her belief, and the evidence is clear. It's that she failed the second quiz, and so she decides to drop the class, which is what the F provided her with the evidence to do what she wanted to do, which is drop the class. Now, this may sound like a lot like tenacity. In the case of tenacity, she's just unwilling to change her belief at all. And in confirmation bias, or a priori, she theoretically allows herself to think about the possibility of failing that quiz and the possibility of dropping the class. And so failing the quiz is all she needs for the evidence to drop it. And so she goes ahead and drops it. In the case of tenacity, she doesn't even consider evidence, she just drops the class. Okay, and so then the fourth and final quiz, she gets the F50. Fourth and final, I'm sorry, method of repairing belief, of settling belief. She does get to 50, but now she has doubt about the belief that she will get an A in critical thinking. So as we mentioned, doubt causes inquiry. But by this time, Thuy's belief resolution, no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, that was going to be authority. Skip that. The fourth and final type of doubt resolution we call critical thinking. Thuy begins her inquiry carefully, considering the fact that she got a 50 on the most recent quiz. She thinks about how carefully she read the assigned material. She thinks about how well she understood the classroom lectures. She takes into account the scores of her friends and their comments. Although she is not quite ready to have an individual meeting with the instructor, she thinks that she might be able to if she wants to. She thinks that this is pretty early in the semester. She decides that the best way to terminate doubt is to stay in the class and wait and see. She still has time to drop the class. Therefore, the most disciplined resolution of doubt, however difficult it may be, is to maintain doubt, keep open to the possibility of dropping the class, and keep open to the possibility of staying in the class. So this is the method that Peirce calls scientific, because she keeps her options open. She's looking for more evidence one way or the other to see if she should drop or not. And this is, like I said, critical thinking, or the scientific method of fixing or settling belief. Okay, so I'm going to stop this lecture. Let's see here.